Madison Wade with Unsolved Northwest. According to data compiled from across our state, there are about 3,500 unsolved murders and missing persons cases. Some of the most heartbreaking unsolved crimes are the ones involving children. We will highlight a few of those cases tonight. We start, though, with a major break in a case that went cold for more than 30 years. Tanya Frasier was just 14 when her life was cut short while she was on a walk from summer school to her part-time job in July 1994. Her murder devastated her family, who waited more than 30 years for answers. Here's our original story on Tanya's case.
Family members say 14-year-old Tanya Frasier was shy and quiet almost 1 week after she mysteriously disappeared.
Like I said, take your time. Yeah, we'll get through it.
Okay. My name is Tanya Frasier, and Tanya is my sister. And my soulmate. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I remember just waiting for her, and I was like, she's got to come home. Like, I slept with my window open all night because I'm like, she's just out. Even though she had never, ever, like, snuck out or, you know, not come home, I couldn't fathom that anything had happened to her.
She turned up dead on Saturday in this field near the Arboretum, found by a man walking his dog.
Well, everybody's just devastated. I mean, totally devastated.
It was like the most numbing feeling. And then a lot of the rest is a blur after that. It still hurts just as much. I can like function, but the moment anybody says anything about her, or I see somebody that we went to middle school with, it makes me cry. And I love talking about her, but it makes me cry every single time. It hurts. Now that, you know, I'm older, I go up and just sit, you know, at the cemetery and talk to her and cry, sometimes laugh. It makes me feel a little bit closer to her. I can't imagine this just never being solved and us never having that closure.
The week that Tanya went missing, the family was contacted by a private investigator named Rose Winquist, and she's been on the case ever since.
I have a couple banker boxes full of stuff. I've followed up on different leads. We met with them in August. Essentially, what they told Teresa and Tira was that you'll hear from us when we make an arrest.
Years and years later, when it's still the same thing, it doesn't reassure me. Why can't you talk to me? Like, I'm family. But I felt like since I was a kid, they've said the same thing to me.
I started working on this case in June of 2016. There's a lot of persons of interest, and until we reach a conclusion in this case, no one's going to give a pass. Tanya Frasier was last seen by friends and students at the intersection of 21 and East Thomas that morning about 11 a.m. Several of her classmates and friends described her talking to an unknown individual. Was that person involved? Maybe.
I am hopeful. I can't imagine this just never being solved and us never having that closure. This is one of our last pictures, but I love seeing her face. Everybody who knew her loved her. Like, she was just such an amazing soul and human being, and she made my life better and so many other people's life better and joyous.
Murder in the first degree.
After more than 30 years of waiting,
Tanya Marie Frasier.
a family sees Mark Russ face to face for the first time.
Here we are today, nearly 32 years later, looking at this brutal man.
Mark Anthony Russ, 57 years old, was linked to Tanya's case using DNA. He now sits in the King County Jail awaiting trial. The arrest of Russ brings Tanya's family one step closer to long-sought justice, but it will never bring their beloved daughter and sister back. A child taken from her bed in the middle of the night, never to be seen alive again. It is a nightmare scenario that is all too real for the family of Misty Mitchelli. The 11-year-old Vancouver girl's murder in 1994 still hangs heavy over southwestern Washington. It could be DNA, though, that could finally reveal who committed this heinous crime.
We knew she did not run away. We were just hoping that whoever took her would just bring her back.
I can't believe it's been that long. In some ways, it seems like it just happened. This is Misty right here. Kelly Carlson, and I'm Misty's aunt. Got a phone call from my nephew who just said, Misty's gone. He said somebody came in the house and took her.
She was taken out of her bed.
Jeff Sage, who manages the apartment, shows us the window the alleged kidnapper reportedly crawled through, taking Misty while her two brothers slept inside.
He saw the man come in, or the bathroom window, and he was so scared that he laid still, and he didn't hear any other sounds, and then he had fallen back to sleep. When he woke up another hour or so later, Misty was gone. We just started going door to door, checking the apartment complex. Within an hour of not being able to find her, we called the police. The two officers that showed up when we called them that first night were really convinced that she had just run away. It didn't seem to register that, someone had literally broken into the house and then she was gone. They were telling us things like, well, she'll probably turn up, she probably ran away. Misty wasn't the kind of child that would have taken off and ran away anyway. She was a very innocent child. And on the television, there was a news program, and they were pulling a body from the river. We turn, and in pulls the police into the driveway. We knew then that there was something very wrong. To this day, I can still remember it like it was yesterday, seeing her tiny little body there. There were what looked like to me to be bruising. Her hair was still wet. I remember asking the coroner, how long had she been in that water? And he said only a couple hours.
When Misty's body was found, she was only wearing a t-shirt and jeans. Initial autopsy reports show she drowned and had no damage to her feet. Police searched the shoreline and bridge for shoes and a jacket, but they never found any.
And there was no possible way for, an 11-year-old girl to get from her house across that bridge without somebody seeing her. My sister completely just mentally went away. I felt like I lost my sister and my niece that same day.
It really was unsettling. It was very terrifying. It definitely changed our lives. My name is Nicole Peterson. I am Misty May Mitchelletti's cousin.
It wouldn't be until February.
A month later, before her death was ruled a homicide, when lab reports came back, indicating that in fact she had been sexually assaulted.
Since 2018, the genetic genealogy community has solved over 1,000 cases. My name is Lisa Lewis, and I'm a forensic investigative genetic genealogist. From 1994 to now, The technology has improved, so we can get a lot more DNA out of a lot smaller samples. It's really hard for us to even wrap our brains around how small of a sample is needed.
I'm not sure what DNA is left to be able to do that type of technology now. This is information that we're not really privileged to through the police department. 10 years ago, they submitted clothing and there was nothing. But maybe now, with new technology, more DNA could be found.
Vancouver police tell us if there is viable technology to solve Misty's case, they'll use it. Her case is still active and detectives continue to follow leads.
Look at how pretty she is. Not knowing it makes you crazy. After 30 years, I don't know if I'll live to see the closure.
Misty May Mitchelli deserves justice. It's time to solve this, and it's time to bring justice to Misty and to her family. Whoever did this, we're gonna find you. We're not gonna stop until we do.
We now head back in time more than 45 years to the Washington coast and the disappearance of two cousins from the Quinault Nation. Carlotta Sanchez and Elsie Lucier were just 12 and 13 when they went out for a walk and never returned.
It was overlooked, overshadowed, like it didn't mean anything to anybody.
I want answers and I want closure. What happened to her? She was only 12 years old. My name is Charmaine Denise Sanchez. My sister is Carlota Maria Sanchez.
What was life like on the reservation?
It was a family-oriented, you know. Everybody knew everything. We came up here because Grandma was sick, like a vacation, okay? And I was 10, she was 12. She was supposed to go somewhere with my other cousin to a farm, and her name was Georgia. She didn't go with Georgia, she went with Elsie. Elsie was kind of a troubled child. She would go run away.
Did you know in your heart something was up?
Yes.
What did you know?
Well, I knew that she wasn't there, and I knew that they weren't believing me because I was just a punk 10-year-old kid. Two weeks went by, and she didn't show back up, and she never returned. They should have listened to me. That's all. They should have listened. Because that was 2 weeks that went by, and we could have had it right there, you know.
Some of the talk is that they caught a ride up through here, but no one can really, for 100% sure, say that they saw them. That's what makes it so hard in this investigation, is that there's not enough information to substantiate everything. So we're on the interior of the reservation. We're just north of Taholah. It's suspected that the girls kept walking this way. They could have been hitchhiking because there's a lot of vehicles that traveled that way. There's no proof of it though. That's the hardest thing about it.
Another challenge is that investigators had very little evidence to go on. Charmaine says Elsie's parents weren't around, didn't take any pictures. So all detectives have is a black and white grainy image that they work to touch up.
The case really never took off for anybody is because a runaway and or missing person was never something that you could just open a whole case on to start investigating everything. And then back then you would have, 4 to 5 different jurisdictions with tribal, federal, city, county, and state that may or may not look into the case. A lot of cases would get dropped or not even looked into. But now we have the technology and we have different departments communicate with each other a lot, and that gets cases like this, cold cases, things start coming up and you get more information and you can work them even harder.
When I look at Carlotta, I see a very young girl. I have daughters, and I'm getting a little long in the tooth myself. And I look at her and I see an innocent child. And I can't imagine something bad falling upon her. My name is Clint Barefoot, Special Agent with the FBI. I work Indian country cases. That's my specialty, that's what I do. We were able to generate some information that led us to believe that there was something beyond two girls that ran away. Investigation's been productive. We've pursued a number of leads. We're working on vetting some of the information. We believe there are some folks in this community that have information as far as what's going on, and they may be haunted by it. And these folks may not have long left to find some peace before they leave this world. And maybe more importantly, to give some peace to the people who cared about Elsie and Carlotta.
That's our biggest goal right now, is let's get the girls home to their families and give the family some peace.
Right now, as an older woman, I see a young little girl. And God bless her. Look at how tiny she is. She was my best friend. And she was my connection to life.
So you're still looking for her?
Absolutely. Every day. Every day.
According to a national database, he is the only missing child from Pacific County. 11-year-old Luke Phiangdae went missing after he left his home following a fight with his father. And here's his story of the renewed hope for justice to figure out what happened to him.
Raymond's kind of like a fisticuffs, rough timber town, a lot of loggers, a lot of commercial fishing, very isolated, you know, we're an hour away from I-5. I'm Eric Trent. I'm a journalist who spent 8 months investigating this case. I grew up in the area and I'd always heard about it. This was the first article that was published about Luke's disappearance. It was Wednesday, February 14th, which was 8 days after he disappeared. And that's Luke's class picture right there. My article was the first one written about Luke since 1996. Mystery of missing Raymond boy still lingers 28 years later.
Yeah, I remember that night. I was at home trying to do some homework. Luke and Robert got home from school. I mean, the minute they get home from school, they start going at each other. My dad had just gotten home. He did tell them repeatedly to, like, you know, go get changed, get ready for bed. And so my dad finally had enough and he pushed them apart. But it was what my dad said to him that I think really hurted him. Because I remember just turning, I said, that was a little harsh, Dad. You know, you should have not said that. And I looked at him and I see how hurt he was. I didn't know that that would be the last time that I saw him. I wanted to go to see if he was okay later. Usually the door is not locked. And I was like, that's strange. Why is Luke's doors locked? They pried the door open and Luke was gone. And my mom immediately, her heart sank. She felt something was wrong.
According to the police report, Luke's family called 911 at 9:42 p.m. when they realized they couldn't find him.
Yeah, I was on patrol in the evening on February 6th, 1996. The parents had called about 9:40, said that he'd run away. And I told them I'll start looking.
It's not normal of him to get so upset, hop out and just go somewhere.
That night, Luke's older brother was at a basketball game at the high school. Family members tell me they believe Luke might have escaped his home to go find his brother, but he never showed up.
And they called back at 11. At that point, we intensified the search.
7 p.m., a woman who lived a couple blocks down the road. Her and her son, they knew him. They said that they saw Luke running across the Highway 101 bridge towards Raymond away from Riverdale. When her and her son came back the other way, about less than 10 minutes later, he was gone. He wasn't anywhere on the main road.
The one thing that really bothers me, there was a little yellow car back in on a little gravel road. I've never seen it around town before, and I've never seen it after that.
That yellow car that Bill Wilson spotted was parked right here at the end of this gravel road. It's significant because just down the road from here is that bridge where Luke was last seen, and it's also on the same route to the high school where he might have been going.
It never dawned on me even that, you know, I should have stopped and checked that car out, because I was busy looking for Luke on foot at the time. And that car is stuck in my mind for 29 years now.
He lived just a block down the road. When he went missing, the woods back behind me was where a lot of the search was focused.
For you, how many times have you been here?
A lot. There's been a lot of days where I'll drive right by Luke's house and come back here and I'll park at the park and just sit in my car and think, what am I missing? What is the piece here that I'm not seeing?
Such a mystery. How does a 11-year-old boy just go missing in the middle of winter? It's really, really remarkable.
I don't believe he ran away.
There wasn't any places we didn't check.
I think the most likely thing is somebody kidnapped him.
What do you think happened to your brother?
Yeah, I think he was taken. He was kidnapped by someone. I don't think he would run away. He wouldn't know where to go. He's only 11. I feel like he's still out there.
It's going to take somebody to finally have the courage to come forward.
You know, if you're out there, you know, we miss you, and you know, we always love you. We'll always be here for you. And yeah, you don't have to worry about anything. Just, you know, we're always going to be here for you. And you know, I'm not going to stop looking for you, and I'm not going to stop looking for you.
Thank you for tuning in to this special edition of Unsolved Northwest. You can see our full series on our streaming app, King 5 Plus. If you want to learn more about these cases and see new developments on past stories, subscribe to receive updates from the Unsolved Northwest team. Text the word Unsolved to 206-448-4545 to sign up. For Unsolved Northwest, I'm Madison Wade.